So, hello everyone, Mike Sims here, Crowntown Cannabis, Charlotte CBD, let's be blunt, whatever you want to call it. I've been called on lately a lot by our customers and some outside media sources and overall staff and people around me that want to know, number one, how I feel about the current medical bill in North Carolina, and number two, if they should support it or if you should support it or not. And the bill we're talking about is Senate Bill 711, also known as the North Carolina Compassionate Care Act. In the bill, it says it gives some kind of medical or compassionate access to cannabis, but it's really anything but. And this bill is now going through committee, 4 committees to be exact, to see if it passes those committees, to see if it can be brought up for a vote in the House and the Senate. With that being said, it's now passed 2 of the 4 committees. The last one was Financial Committee, and in that committee, they ultimately decided to make an amendment to the current bill, stating that this bill and this whole program must be self-funded, meaning all expenses, everything must come from inside and self-funded from this program. And comparing this to other states' medical programs or recreational programs, we've basically adopted every single part that has caused others to fail, put it in a bill, and hopefully trying to get it passed. Again, it sounds great. We're trying to help sick people. We're trying to get affordable medicine to people. This bill is anything but that. This bill actually does very little to get anyone access to cannabis. It's actually a very small group. And the way it's written where 10 total vertical operations, 10 farms, would ultimately be awarded these licenses. Out of those 10 farms, they get 4 dispensaries each. Do the math. 40 total dispensaries statewide. We have 100 counties. 100 counties. Not only that, it has to be opened in a tier 1 county, which means they have financial issues, they have crime issues and all kind of things. And ultimately, from what I understand, big counties like Mecklenburg County, with probably the greatest need for such a program, can ultimately be left out of this. As the rest of the country moves towards decriminalization, and as the rest of the country moves towards some kind of a legal path for adult use, behind all this, they're now wanting to make possession, trafficking, or whatever you want to call it, of cannabis a stricter penalty. We keep trying to mimic what the black markets had going for the last 100 years. Nobody can compete with the black market because it's already funded, it's already underway. The taxes aren't involved, the government isn't involved, so you have very low overhead. It's actually working kind of beautifully. Most of you out there can agree the black market's great. However, people are still getting locked up. They've still got half the country, we have legal possession, the other half's getting locked up for it. Not cool. So, we need some kind of access. Yes, we need a medical program. Medical program does not mean revenue. If you have a medical program, it's just that. It's medicine. It's supposed to help people. The people that most likely need the help have the least income anyway. So as you raise these prices and taxes, it ultimately gets passed along to the patient or the taxpayer at the end of the day. So we either go recreational or we go medical. Recreational brings dollars, medical brings relief. You cannot have both and try to intercross them. You can't call it a medical program and then talk about the kind of funds that you're going to generate from it. Also, can we use things like insurance cards to pay for these medications? Do we have HIPAA protections? None of this is mentioned in this bill. Also, there's nothing in it to include equality in it, including people that have ultimately been damaged by this war on drugs the most, people of color, and also minorities. And ultimately, they're being left out again. There's no pathway for anybody of minority or lower income to get in to this whole program, people that have ultimately paid the greatest price in this war on drugs. So, do I support SB 711? When I first heard about it, the first thing I thought was, you know what, some access is great, I'll take it. A step forward is a step in the right direction. I used to feel that way. As I see California still trying to fix their program 20 years later, I realize sometimes just taking something is not as good as getting it right the first time. So we have to get it right, and this bill does not get it right, in my opinion, at all. It doesn't have medical relief, and it doesn't have any kind of income supplement that we're looking for to help the state out that you would have in a recreational program. But really, as we all know in this industry, and any real cannabis users know, there's no such thing as medical marijuana. Everything is medical with this plant. It's not like they have a pile of medical and a pile of recreational. It's literally the package is put in. It's also limitations on milligrams and things like that, but really the only real difference between medical and recreational cannabis is how it is taxed and how you are charged for it. And that's all it should ever be. So, should you support it? Do your research, find out yourself. I get a big thumbs down. SB 711, great effort, not so much. And let me tell you, I don't think it's going to get passed anyway. I think this is more posturing. I think this is more stage lighting to say, hey, look, we tried to do something and it didn't work. But ultimately, everybody's pressing for something that they know is not only not going to work, it's not going to pass, it's not going to benefit the state, it's not going to benefit the patient. So why are we doing this? It's 2021. Let's get it right, man. We need full adult access, period. Let's tax it sensibly. Let's get real professionals from this industry to help set these guidelines and laws. Call on us. Call on people smarter than me. I got a list of them. Hit us up. That's my opinion. Do your research yourself. There's other bills coming along through North Carolina as well as federally that you can get behind that are way more involved and way more comprehensive on fixing the actual problem of deleting the black market and getting people safe, legal access to wonderful medicine and cannabis. Thank you, each and every one of you. Stay tuned. More to come. Keep supporting us, keep following us, and we'll keep coming at you as these laws and bills come at us. Thanks, everyone. Peace, love, and cannabis.